Nietzsche did criticize astrology, of course. He said that it limits your perspective. And I just want to mention first off that the 19th century was the extreme dark ages for astrology. Like, because of all the Millerites and all these people that believed the Messiah was coming on Nietzsche's, the week after Nietzsche's birthday, um, all these more skeptics showed up strictly because there was all these, like, outlandish, you know, fundamental evangelists. That's what I was trying to say. So like astrology was just totally seen as pseudo. That's when it was getting to the kind of a skeptic era, and Nietzsche said that astrology narrows your perspective. And I just have a hunch that he couldn't have got half as good as an astrological reading back then as I could give him right now, like in my room right now. If he's seen my 10-minute video, Nietzsche's astrological chart. I just wish he'd seen that. I mean, because I don't think the information available to him at the time was, as good as it could get. And Emerson says that, people who pay too much attention to their their birth chart, their star chart, invite the evils that they fear. So he's saying, once you read it, you're always going to be scared that you're going to do that. But that's just the first perspective. That's just the first step in astrology. Once you know that evil, you either accept it and try and change it, which is kind of the point of reading it, or you just, like, no, I don't have that negative chart, like, so you just are ignorant to it and never change, or worst case scenario, the chart, the reading is wrong, so you don't even need to change. But like, Nietzsche believes it narrows your perspective because it puts you in a kind of limiting box, but at the same time, it gives you a higher perspective of yourself that you you weren't able to verbalize at a certain point in time. Like Nietzsche says, he even said every philosophy is the philosophy of some stage in life, and that is exactly astrology. Like during specific planetary transits, we have to um, sort of adapt to that mood and that archetype for the moment. And people with specific transits, like right now, for instance, Uranus is in Pisces, Neptune's in Aquarius, Pluto's in Capricorn. And I have a majority of those signs in my chart. So all these transits that I was born with for my personal planets, the huge outer planets are conjuncting all those original natal planets. So, I mean, the archetype for an enlightened one is a sort of perfect planetary alignment. And I think that if you can overcome uh, your negative traits and, rise to the highest potential of your positive traits, that is a form of enlightenment. And to them, enlightenment is just being a completely unique person, unique individual. And I believe that as well, but the planets as well sort of bring back that same reminiscent archetype. It's not that everyone with Jupiter and Pisces has a great imagination and they'll all be writers, but they will, sort of utilize that energy in whatever field they are in. It's like, oh yeah, he's an accountant, but when you hang out with him, he's an artist, or that dude's an artist, but when you hang out with him, he's an accountant. Anyway, but yeah, their critique is that it limits your perspective, and my main argument is that it shows you your ultimate potential.